in the presence of the teachers who have been constantly guiding us to excel in our life. In the remembrance of the great educationist, thinker, philosopher and statesman Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan was born in 1888, 5th September in a village near to Tirupati. He was from a very poor background and his father did not have enough money to complete his formal education. And also his father was against the British education system. But it was his inherent talent that enabled him to earn the necessary scholarship to get to the British education system, and also he was again forced to get married at the age of 16. But that did not prevent him to run behind his quest of knowledge. He kept on accomplishing one milestone, another milestone, and it was the time when he started working on post-graduation on philosophy. He was very much anguished by the apathetic behavior of the British administration towards India. So he picked up Advaita Vedanta and he was inspired by the life of Adi Guru Shankaracharya. From then on he focused to work on Vedanta and interpretation of Vedanta in English. And he had published his thesis under the title The Ethics of Vedanta and its metaphysical presuppositions. And that thesis, when he was working on, he was very much afraid because his guide was a British, and he was very much afraid that his guide might have trashed his thesis. But he did not stay behind. He kept on working with the faith that it might be accepted by him. And surprisingly, it was accepted by his guide, and his guide not only applauded for his work, but also his guide has recommended that the thesis should be sent across to England for reading by the educated people of England to know about India. And from then on he started working on writing several journal papers. 10 out of 18 journal papers written by him has been published in world-class journals like The Quest, The Mind, International Journal of Ethics, and subsequently his fame as a philosopher and writer was growing, and in the year of 1921 he was honored by the appointment to the post of King George V Chair of Philosophy in Calcutta University. From then on he moved from South India to, he was appointed to Calcutta University at that time, and from that time his writing in terms of philosophy and interpretation of Hinduism was gaining so much attention in the Western country that the thinking of the Western towards India was slowly changing. In the year of 1931, he was awarded with Knight. In the year of 1936, he was promoted to again the prestigious post in Oxford University, H.N. Spalding Chair of Eastern Religion and Ethics. Between the time from 1920 to 1936, he has served as professor under various capacities. He has served in different universities like Calcutta University, Madras University, Andhra University and Benares Hindu University. During that time, he had been invited by Oxford University to give a lecture, and that lecture is published in the book. The name is The Hindu View of Life. In 1926 it was, again in 1929 he was again invited by Oxford to give a lecture at Hibbert, and that lecture is named as The Idealistic View of Life. Through all this scholarly activity, he has been in the limelight of representing India in the world academic arena. During the time from 1921 to 1936 in Calcutta, he was again deeply moved by the political situation of India. He did not confine himself to only scholarly activity and philosophical writing. He was also touched by the political situation that was going on against anti-British movement. From that time he started working to write some political vision for developing India, but he was not active in the politics. Then, till 1939, he was trying to involve with the main force of Indian freedom struggle is Congress, and he was deeply disappointed by three consequent events. One in 1919, Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Another one is Gandhiji's flip-flop during Khilafat movement, and another one is the two-nation theory that came up from Muhammad Iqbal and Muhammad Ali Jinnah. And he was trying to educate the people of India through writing. He was trying to give an alternative solution for a sustainable philosophical response to handle that public discontent that was growing because of religious ethnic violence. And after the independence of India, he was the first Vice President of India from 1952 to 1962. From 1962, he was the President of India for 5 years. He tried to include the writing of Sri Aurobindo in the part of Indian education syllabus in philosophy, but he could not succeed due to the opposition from the political parties. But it was a necessity because human unity and unity in human across the world was a necessity after the Second World War and many other things that has happened after 1947. He tried to work to fulfill the vision of Plato that a king will be also a philosopher. So he tried to take up the challenge to work as a President of India. From 1962 to 1967, India has seen two major events, that is Indo-China problem and as well as Pakistan's aggression. But he did not want to continue his second term as president because he was also upset by the situation that the standing Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri has passed under a mysterious circumstance. So different various situations, he did not want to continue. Had he continued as president and had we got Lal Bahadur Shastri as Prime Minister of India, India would have emerged stronger and stronger with a good governance, ethics in governance. We are very much unfortunate of all these things. Before finishing up, I would like to just remember one slope that was very much close to his heart, that he has written in a book, The Hindu View of Life, which is very much applicable to the present context of India, given the situation of different socio-political, religious situations. And the slope is Sadharma Karma Vimukha Krishna Krishna eti Badino Te Harero Deshino Mura Dharmartham Janma Jathara. With this, I want to end up my short introduction over. Thank you very much.